Hello there, Grim Dawn fans and people that are looking for totems. So, yeah, this weekend had Grim Dawn's new 1.1.6 patch incorporated, which brought us the totem system. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to find these things. They are actually not that hard to find. They're everywhere. So, we're going to start with some 100%-ish locations that you can find them. They are pretty random in terms of whether they spawn or not, but they do have set spawn locations. So first up, we are going to check the Necropolis interior rift. This one seems to be about 100%. There are 3 spawn locations north of the rift. I'm not even going to clear them. I'm just going to show you where to get them. Usually, so usually by the time you get to this point, you'll see one spawn. I think there's another location here and another location here, and there's one right there. And we're not going to go through clearing all of them. I do want to say, though, it tells you when you hover over it what type of totem it is. Void Touch just means it's a chthonic totem. Forsaken is a prefix, so there is the ancient prefix and the Forsaken prefix, and then there's a no-name prefix. So if this was a no-name one, it would just be called a Void Touch totem. So there's sort of 3 different difficulties. Theoretically, the ancient ones should have the better loot, etc., etc. But that is location number 1. Next up is going to be the Warden's Cellar. So let's check this one. This is also pretty much 100% chance, which is right here. I already scoped this game session out to make sure we were pretty good. So it shows up right through the rift, right on the map. This is an ancient one, which should in theory be a good one. If you don't see this here, if you don't see any here, and you walk down like kind of to this next room, you'll see one pop. I mean, there's spawn locations here and usually one here. So if you don't see one in this location, just walk down to here and you should see another one pop up. This is pretty much 100% zone to find one. And then the other 100% zone I've found is Crown Hill. Crown Hill is 100% right out the rift gate. So right when we spawn in and we press our map, we should be able to see one, and there you go. Forsaken Aether Warp Totem. Also 3 spawn locations. There could be one here. I think there's another one here and another one here. So those are like the 3 surefire locations. A couple like most of the time locations. Next up, we're going to check out Gorvan City, which is in the Forgotten Gods area. I should also mention that the type of totem you find, whether it be beast, eldritch, undead, is specific to where you find it. So, you know, if you're out in the middle of the woods and you find a totem, depending on where you are in the woods, of course, you know, like we'll talk about that in a second, but like, you know, Askertan Road would have like a beast one, or the Necropolis area would have like chthonic ones and stuff like that. So it's sort of the alignment or their faction is associated where you find it. So for example, we'll find like an eldritch one here because it's in the sort of eldritch part of the game, right? So Gorvan City is a great location. I'm going to give you a little pro tip here. A lot of the times when you spawn in, you can see this one. If you don't see it and you come down to here, if you walk right down here, there could be another spawn location. I think it might be here or here. I do not know exactly, but it does have 2 that are pretty close to each other. So if you don't see it right out the gate and you come down a little bit, you can see another one. So there is another easy one to find. So that takes care of Gorvan City. Askertan Road, really good location. Well, a really good place to go looking for these. That's this rift right here. This is actually take 2 of this video. My first take, I was clearing the totems, and the video ended up being 17 minutes long, so that's why I'm not killing them. So as you can see, you don't see any here, but there's a spawn location. Oh man, someone's going to catch me on this. I think one here, maybe one here, might be another one up here. So sometimes you can see them right when you spawn in. Other times you can't, but if you just come down a little bit and go east, okay, so there we go, popped Forsaken Totem. And if you don't see that one, pretty much right when you get down to this point, if you don't see one, there just isn't one. They do not have 100% chance to spawn, but generally speaking, you can find one in a zone if you're looking for it. So those are like those are the good ones. Those what did I say? There was like 5 of them, right? So Necropolis, Interior Rift, the Warden Cellar, Crown Hill, Gorvan City, and Askertan Road. Those are like the 5 really good locations where we were seeing really consistent spawns for these things that were very close to the rift. Let's talk about some honorable mentions. Blood Grove, there are 3 right next to the rift. So I did make sure that I had one in this play session. So sometimes you come here, you don't see any, but yeah, there's one here, of course. Now, if we go to this one, as you can see, I haven't even gone there yet. sometimes when you go to this one, there could be another one that spawns here. This is the only one I've found that can have duplicates like right next to each other. We're not going to get one. Crap. I was really hoping I would get one in this place. Oh my god, we did. Okay. So this is extremely uncommon. And that's why this is a great rift to come to, because you could potentially see two. And it's... I kind of want to clear them because there's so many of them now, but... sometimes when you zone in right away, you could see one here, and there's also another one that I think spawns here or here. So definitely check the Bloodgrower Rift, look at your map, and see if you see any spawned. It's great. It's an awesome location to check for these things. Just some other honorable mentions. Cronley's hideout is a good one. Let's see if we have any luck. I think I did check for this one before I started the video, so... No, I didn't. Okay. There can be one that can spawn right out the rift here, and it usually will spawn here. So if right when you spawn in, you don't need to move anywhere. Just take a look. If you don't see it, then move on. Cronley's, Pine Barrens. I think I checked for Pine Barrens too. There's not one in Pine Barrens in this play session, but it would show up, but it would show up here. So you'd have to go all the way around to go get it. However, if you want to check for it, you can definitely check for it. So that usually would show up here on your map. I always check for Pine Barrens, and I have a very fast build, so I would go get it. Excuse me, burping all over the place. Gloomwald Rift, which is this one. Not the Northern Gloomwald Crossing Rift, this one. Excuse me, I can't stop burping, I had too much corona. That's a pretty good one, so this is another good honorable mention. Obviously, you won't see it all the time, but it's worth checking. And the Wardens Lab. I have not... Did I check this one? I think I did check this one in this play session, and we did not have one. But I will show you what to do if you're looking for one. So you can check Warden's Lab. Pretty much if you come down to here in the Warden's Lab, you should already see them on your map, usually like right here. So there's one spawn location here. There's also another spawn location here for totems, and I would say don't even bother, because to get there, you have to go all the way around. It takes way too long to get there. So I wouldn't bother with that one, unless it's ancient and you really want it or something like that. But yeah, that's just another sort of spawn location. That's really it. I mean, I want to keep this as short as possible. 7 minutes. Okay, there's not going to be a lot of editing in this video, so we're going to leave it at that. But you should turn the video off. However, if you want to know how to cheese this a little bit more, because you can definitely cheese this a little bit more, you can just rift farm. And rift farming is just going rift to rift, not even moving, and looking for totems. I've done this now 2 times in 2 different play sessions and found anywhere from 13 to 17 rifts without even moving. So when I say rift farm, it just means pick a rift and start going, because these are all over the place, and we're going to skip that one, but because I know there's going to be one near it. Let's just find one that, like, I don't even know. Let's just go someplace we didn't even talk about today, like Prospector's Trail, right? We didn't talk anything about this tonight. Hold tab. We don't see one. Okay, this is rift farming. Pine Barrens. Actually, I guess we did kind of talk about that one earlier, but okay, there's not one there. This is what you would do if you're really just trying to cheese it, find them, and go get them, like as fast as you want. And there's one right there. So that is kind of the idea behind rift farming, and you can just go right down the list. You can do Broken Hills 2. I actually don't think there's one close to the Broken Hills Rift. We'll do like oh, that's the one we just saw, right? We'll do like one more until we find one more, and that'll probably be the end of the video, because, you know, I don't know if this is like an intended mechanic. Like, see, there's another one, right? So you can just go rift to rift and farm a bunch of these, and that's really it. I think the 5 I mentioned originally are great, like if you're just trying to definitely find them as fast as possible. But yeah, even then you can just sit in the play session and rift hop until you find the one or find any and go hunting. So that's really going to be it for this video. The items that come from them, there are 10 new legendary items. If you watched my 1.1.6 patch overview, you probably should. And I did this for about 7 hours last night. I got 4 drops, 2 duplicate shields. These aren't all drops. I had my inventory open now. I'm getting other stuff in here I don't want in here. But yeah, so... And then I got this one when I was recording this video. So far I have like actually 4 of 10 of the new legendaries. I got 5 drops total. So yeah, they're pretty rare. The items are actually very rare that you can get, but some will be heavily sought after for certain builds. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any other quick ways of farming these totems, and I hope that helped. Maybe it didn't. If you have any other places, just leave a comment below. I'll sticky the comment. Thank you very much. We'll catch you on the next one.